August 14th is Election Day in Trinidad.
We have to stand united. We have to stand together.
It's 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot. It comes down to your voice, your vote.
George! Are you ready? UNC!
Cast your vote for the one and only United National Congress. Stand your ground to victory. August 14th is Election Day in Trinidad.
We have to stand united. We have to stand together.
It's 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot. It comes down to your voice, your vote.
George! Are you ready? UNC!
Cast your vote for the one and only United National Congress. Stand your ground to victory. August 14th is Election Day in Trinidad.
We have to stand united. We have to stand together.
It's 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot. It comes down to your voice, your vote.
George! Are you ready? UNC!
Cast your vote for the one and only United National
may God bless our nation. Hear every creed and race find an equal place. And may God bless our nation.
Almighty God, most beneficial and merciful, Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country. This is a national emergency, a primetime Monday night report calling all UNC warriors. Stand your ground on crime, property tax, home invasions, bad roads. Stand your ground to victory. 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 Live from the battleground districts. Welcome to the UNC local government election campaign. Tonight, your local government candidates and Team UNC.
Thank you. Yes, folks. I'm going to be chairing tonight's meeting. I am Michael Kerr, aka Mikey K, and it's my pleasure to be here with my UNC family. With so much taking place in our country, the middle class has been wiped out, so many of our students falling through the cracks. You said you're not staying in your comfort zone. Give yourself a round of applause, UNC family, for being here tonight. Our first speaker is a man who many will define as soft-spoken, but trust me, never underestimate him. He's part of our family, and he means business. We don't tote. We what? We what? I can't hear you people. The media is here, they're locked on. Please, UNC family, we don't tote. We what? There you go. Please put your hands together and welcome Caroni Central MP, Mr. Arnold Ram.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Thank you, Chairman. A pleasant good evening to you ladies and gentlemen here this evening, gathered at the Couva South Multipurpose Hall. I say, I am UNC and I am proud. Let me hear you say, I am UNC and I am proud. As far as my eyes can see, I am seeing a sea of yellow before me. And I know with your support, we will be returning all our local government representatives back to their respective electoral district. Am I right? To our eminent and esteemed political leader, our deputy political leader, members of parliament, colleagues on the platform here this evening, members of the national executive, members of the media, together with so many who have also locked on via various social media platforms, I say good evening. With your support, we are well on the way to forming the next government of Trinidad and Tobago, led by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, the People's Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here tonight to tell you and to remind you that you cannot trust this wicked, this callous, this heartless, and this vindictive PNM government. They want to tell you that this local government election is about reform. About reforming what exactly? Reforming how councils deal with your problems and so on? But no, the PNM have been banding about and talking about local government reform since I myself was in a nuts pack. Since before my father consumed a nuts pack, they have been talking about local government reform. Another thing they have spoken about was Vision 2020. How many of you remember that? Vision 2020. What happened to that? Did it develop cataract? I hear them talking about Vision 2030 now. And that is the PNM way of making you feel that they are about to do something about bettering your lives, when in fact they are just spinning top in mud, doing the bare minimum and using their friends in the media and others to propel them and to mask their incompetence. When they told you about Vision 2020, they were referring to some national development plan that will transform Trinidad and Tobago into a developed nation status. Some aspects of their plan including economic diversification. And they said one of the primary objectives was to reduce the country's dependence on oil and gas by diversifying the economy and creating a sustainable economy. Well, let me tell you, that was in 2002. Last year or so, Keith Rowley came and said, diversification is just a big word that nobody understands. That is what they had to say about diversification. They spoke about human capital development and the importance of investing in human capital to drive economic growth and development. But what did they do? They shut the gate, they closed the door on all our students with respect to the GATE funding program. They spoke about infrastructure development, about roads and bridges to support a modern and efficient infrastructure to support economic growth. And this is what the PNM is about, making empty promises. You remember PNM, promises never materialize. You know that better than I do. You know that better than I do. And what you realize is that this PNM is all hot air and no substance. We call them NATO. No action, talk only. For the PNM, this local government election is about imposing property tax on you. Imagine, after you work so hard, sweat and blood, making sacrifices to put a roof over your head and that of your family, they now want to tax that. Let them know that this local government election is a referendum on their governance, and we will not accept the property tax, ladies and gentlemen. They are sending people to your homes to value your property based on an annual rental value. An annual rental value, and the form they have, they want you to guesstimate how much your home will be rented for. They think all of us are like Alwari. We want to rent our property. Do we want to rent our property? No, we do not want to rent our property. For most of us, it is about the peaceful enjoyment of our homes, and that enjoy the fruits of our labor, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. And this comes on the heels of a number of other taxes and increases and fines. Look at the price of gas, increased 5 times in 8 years. Price of flour increased just last week by 33%. We already heard that the bread is going to move from $17 sliced bread, from $17 to $21. And we know what will happen if the doubles man increases price. The inheritance tax, Kamla Persad-Bissessar told you about and bust the mark on the inheritance tax. So when you work hard and you want to pass something on to your family, to your son or your daughter, they are now saying, in addition to legal fees, in addition to stamp duty and so forth, you must also pay 25% inheritance tax, ladies and gentlemen. Let them know that do you not stand for that. They impose VAT on over 8,000 food items, and they have increased road traffic taxes over the years. Now, they are coming also with a hike in utility rates. And thank God for the UNC. Thank God for the UNC who represented the voices of Trinidad and Tobago at those RIC consultations. Had it not been for your UNC representatives, ladies and gentlemen, they would have already increased the price of electricity that you are consuming. So brothers and sisters, the cumulative costs which you are now required to shoulder and to bear and burden, I do not know how long we can take that at the hands of Keith Rowley and the PNM. Back in 2009, Keith Rowley indicated that the price, $100 is a lot, $100 per month is a lot for the people of Diego Martin West. What about $100 now? So he has changed his narrative completely and saying that it is $3 a day. Property tax is going to be $3 a day, and that is the price of a dynamite. I don't know what kind of dynamite he's sucking. $3 for a dynamite? I know KC wholesaling dynamite, 25 cents and 30 cents, right down in here in Cuba. But he's saying, he want to change the narrative. He's telling you, he's moving it from $100 a day is a lot for people in Diego Martin West in 2009. What about now? It was the UNC, led by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who managed this country without the imposition of any new taxes between 2010 and 2015. Do you remember that? It is my job to remind you. It is my job to remind you, brothers and sisters. It is my job to remind you there were no new taxes between 2010 and 2015. And the People's Partnership Government was able to accomplish so much things. Increase in old age pension, not once, but twice. Increase in minimum wage, not once, but twice. Settle over 140 wage negotiations with the unions. Give children laptops. Those children who wrote and got their SCA results today would have been going into September, the first day of school, with a brand new laptop, ladies and gentlemen. They built over 100 new schools. They improved the road infrastructure through the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. They built the Children's Hospital, the Aquatic Center, the cycling velodromes, and so on, so many more. I could go on and on. So I say to you this evening, and I remind you, it is time that we put our collective differences aside, that we bind together, that we come together, and we support the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar to save our country, to save our treasured Republic of Trinidad and Tobago from the hands of the PNM. When you go to the polls on the 14th of August, vote to secure your communities, to the restarting of community comfort patrols. Vote for the introduction of stand your ground legislation to protect your family, for secure schools, for secure streets, for secure families. Vote for the United National Congress on August 14th.
It's time for win.
Brothers and sisters, long live the United National Congress. Long live the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Forward ever, backward never. I thank you.
It's time for win. To vote for the UNC. So let me tell them. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Folks, a round of applause once again for MP Arnold Ram, please. Yes, indeed. He understands the mission. We all understand the mission. And we understand, of course, about the security that we have to provide for the future generation. My deceased grandmother would always say, children don't ask to come here, and they certainly don't ask to come and suffer. So it's our responsibility on August 14th that when we stain that finger, we stain it for folks who aren't even born as yet. Give yourself a round of applause. At this time, we welcome our second speaker for this evening. If humility and loyalty was a person, it would be this gentleman. A man who is always willing to talk, dialogue, and of course, look for the positive outlook in life. Please, UNC family, put your hands together and welcome our MP for Couva North, Mr. Ravi Ratiram.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family.
Thank you most kindly, Mr. Chairman, for that warm and kind introduction. Political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. My colleagues, members of Parliament, members of the National Executive, our Women's Arm, our Youth Arm, members of all constituency executive, mayor and chairman of the borough and all regional corporations, candidates of the Couva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation who are going to be victorious in all 15 electoral districts on August 14th. All other local government candidates, aldermen, members of the media, my brothers and sisters who are joining us on the live broadcast, and all of you who have gathered here in this sea of yellow that is overflowing in all corners. Are you ready to secure your community from the crime situation affecting all of us in Trinidad and Tobago? I ask you tonight, my brothers and sisters, are you ready to secure your jobs from this clueless, rowdy PNM? I ask you tonight, are you ready to secure our economy that is collapsing more and more, day by day, under this incompetent, rowdy PNM? And lastly, I ask you, my brothers and sisters, are you ready to wash away the blight of this rowdy PNM and secure a victory for your UNC candidate on August 15th? My brothers and sisters, tonight I stand before you to shed some light on an issue that has caused immense pain and suffering to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It is an issue that demands urgent attention and one that cannot be ignored any longer. I am referring to the insensitive and uncaring attitude displayed by Minister Rohan Sinanan towards the victims of the recent floods that has ravaged our nation. Brothers and sisters, I know that we are all aware of the grand failure that Rohan Sinanan has been when it comes to maintenance of our roads, cleaning of our watercourses, and addressing the hundreds of landslides in Trinidad. However, as we gather here tonight, I want us to reflect upon the devastating impact that the recent floods have had on our fellow citizens. And I know even some of you present here tonight, brothers and sisters, have been severely affected by these floods. Homes have been flooded out, appliances have been destroyed, and in some cases, livelihoods have been shattered. In times like these, it is the responsibility of those in high office to demonstrate compassion, empathy, and swift action in providing relief to families affected. Brothers and sisters, Do you recall when our leader was sworn in as the first female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago? Minutes after being sworn in, the then Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, she asked the guests to forgive her for foregoing the usual celebration ceremony so that she could immediately get down to business. She put on her tall boots and went out to assess the floods, to see how best and how quick she and her ministers under the People's Partnership could have brought relief to citizens who were affected. Because you see, brothers and sisters, she cared for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Her mantra was serve the people, serve the people, serve the people. And this is what our honorable leader did with distinction. Our leader, brothers and sisters, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, has been a role model as the best and the most compassionate leader that we have ever seen in Trinidad and Tobago. However, brothers and sisters, when we look at the response that our citizens have been receiving from Keith Rowley and his gang of incompetent ministers, they have failed on all accounts. Especially during times of flooding and disaster, people are now saying that PNM is the biggest disaster that has ever happened to Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters, on Thursday, the 29th of June 2023, the Express newspaper published an editorial entitled "More Empathy, Please." This editorial highlighted the pressing needs for the government to show empathy and understanding towards the plight of our flood victims. It called on Rohan Sinanan for his lack of sensitivity and his failure to grasp the magnitude of the crisis at hand. The editorial rightly pointed out that Minister Rohan Sinanan dismissive remarks and lack of urgency in addressing the needs of the affected citizens were not only insensitive, but also a clear indication of how his uncaring attitude is. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, brothers and sisters, they definitely deserve better. They deserve ministers who will stand with them, shoulder to shoulder, during their darkest hours, like how our UNC councillors have been serving their burgesses with sandbags and relief items. I recall going out with Councillor Dubraj and Councillor Taxi to deliver sandbags to affected burgesses. I recall going with Councillor Amit and Councillor Seema to deliver hot meals and water for residents of Arangwell South, El Socorro, Bamboo. Like Sister Khadija Amin, every day visiting her constituents who are affected in St. Augustine South. Brothers and sisters, floods are not a new phenomenon in our country. We have faced them before and we will undoubtedly face them again. However, what is absolutely unacceptable is the callous disregard shown by Minister Rohan Sinanan towards the suffering of our people. His failure to provide a timely and adequate assistance is a betrayal of the trust that people has placed in his office as the Minister of Works and Transport. In times of crisis, we need representatives who will rise to the occasion, who will go beyond and above to alleviate the pain and sufferings of their fellow countrymen. We need a government who will listen to the cries for help and take decisive action, brothers and sisters. Regrettably, Rohan Sinanan and this Rowley regime has failed to meet these expectations. Brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to remain silent in the face of such insensitivity. We must demand accountability from those in authority. We must demand that ministers step up and fulfill their duty to the people, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Our citizens deserve a government that will prioritize well-being above everything else. So brothers and sisters, I say to you, let us unite in our efforts to bring about the change we so desperately need. Together, we can ensure that the voices of the flood victims are heard, grievances are addressed, and their lives are restored. We cannot allow the insensitivity and uncaring attitude of Rohan Sinanan and the uncaring behavior of Rowley and his gang of incompetent ministers to define us as a nation. It is time, brothers and sisters, it is time for us to hold them accountable and to demand empathy and compassion that our citizens deserve. Let us use this local government election to send a loud and clear message that no longer are we going to accept the disrespect from Rowley and his gang of irresponsible ministers. Brothers and sisters, tonight I ask you to stand your ground. Stand your ground and let us secure our country from the devastating disaster called the People's National Movement. On August the 14th, let your vote be counted. When you go to the polls, I say, place your X next to the symbol of the rising sun. Vote for your UNC candidates. And as we march on to the road to victory, remember that TNT wins with UNC. TNT wins with KPB. Long live the United National Congress. Long live our honorable political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And long live you, the beautiful people of Trinidad and Tobago. Forward ever, backward never.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, voting vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. Voting vote for UNC.
Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. And so tonight, I am also graced with the honor and the privilege to introduce to you your candidate and your next councillor for Freeport Chiclan, Mr. Arnold Ram.
It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC.
Your candidate and your next councillor for Claxton Bay Point de Pierre, Shazina Nadia Khan Mohammed. Your hard-working councillor for Calcutta, number 3 Macbean. Your candidate and the next councillor, Alan Taxi Sipasad. Our international cultural ambassador. Your candidate and next councillor for Perseverance Waterloo, my brother, Rudranath Indarsingh.
Just to save your economy. Vote to secure TNT. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure.
And the effervescent, young and dynamic candidate and the next councillor for St. Mary's Castlefield, Vishan Mohammed.
Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT.
Ah, yes. UNC family, another round of applause for the man, Ravi Ratiram, and all the councillors. Ah, yes. Our next speaker is also the Shadow Minister of Education. And I know it pains many times to see what has happened as far as the educational policy in this country. Under Kamla Persad-Bissessar, no child was left behind. No child was falling through the cracks. No child was a pest. No child was a hyena. That child meant value, and it meant value to the future of Trinidad and Tobago. UNC family, I want you to put your hands together and welcome on stage a lady with the testicular fortitude to never back down. Please, your Tabakit MP, Miss Anita Haynes.
It's time for we to build a better anthem. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and the family.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Kuva, how are you feeling tonight? Good evening to the political leader, to my parliamentary colleagues, and to you, the loyal, hard-working soldiers of the United National Congress. Give yourselves a round of applause here tonight. Tonight, as we gather here today, in the midst of our local government campaign, allow me to take a few minutes to say a hearty congratulations to all of the students who received their results for the SCA exam today. Let's all give them a round of applause. Now, these students did not have an easy task at all. These are the students who would have spent Form 3 and Standard 3 and Standard 4 on online learning. They would have spent 2 years out of the school system and come back in the final year in the physical school system. And those children got their results today, and I saw a very interesting release from the Ministry of Education. Today, the Ministry of Education sought to congratulate itself and say that the results this year were better than the results last year. Last year, ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you, we had over 50% of our students scoring below 50% of the SCA grade. And so today, to congratulate themselves, they said that 54% of the students scored over 50%. That leaves over 40% of our students not making the pass mark today. And Trinidad and Tobago, over the years, I have warned about this government taking their time to lower the bar. What this government has done over the past few years is say to you, say to all of us, let us carry the bar lower and lower and lower. Let us say to our students, Trinidad and Tobago is an island of scholars, of persons who go into the international field and make their mark. And this is a government, this PNM administration is saying to you and saying to your children that if you make the pass mark, we'll clap for you. If you make 50%, we'll say it's okay. And that is unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. When we come to you as the United National Congress and we say secure, we are here to secure you, secure TNT, vote for you, we are talking about the education sector. We are talking about in 2014 under People's Partnership, Kamla Persad-Bissessar administration, over 74% of the students scored over 50%. That is the vast majority of our students were excelling in these examinations. We had students receiving scholarships. We had students going into the international spaces. And as I prepared to come here to talk to you today, I had to get some very disturbing messages. Students reaching out to me on Facebook, via our Instagram. Students who are in Jamaica, the Mona campus of UE, the bursary students. Can you believe that this government, after promising these children to take care of them in their tertiary education via the bursary system, they have not released the funding? Think about if it was your child. If your child was outside, going to school, studying, and they were told they cannot check their exam results, they cannot register for classes next year because a wicked and callous administration refused to pay their money. And so when we say stand up for TNT and stand your ground, we are saying stand for the children of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, as we take a look at the essay results and as we are on the local government campaign trail, we have to think about what we're doing as a country. We have to think about when you come out to these meetings, when you come out to support the United National Congress, what are you supporting? You are supporting a history of excellence in the education sector. You are supporting an administration who the students who wrote today would be going into Form 1 sure that they would be able to have a device to connect to the internet. That you would be voting for an administration that says every single child in Trinidad and Tobago, no matter if you're from the big city or a rural community, you have an equitable access to opportunity. And so when you sit here today, you should be proud of yourselves for standing for the right thing and standing up for Trinidad and Tobago. But you know, those on the other side, as they come to you and they are campaigning, they are looking. I had the pleasure of attending the campaign launch for the councillor, the future councillor of the Bonaventure Gasparilla area, Mr. Ravi Ratiram last week. At that, as I was heading over there, the PNM were walking. They were doing their walkabouts in Gasparilla, walking in front of my office. So I sat there and I said, okay, well, I want to hear what you telling the people because I am a voter too. Let me see if you could convince me. Imagine they would tell us, well, we ain't really saying anything, you know, we just play the music on the mic and walk down the road and hand people the flyer. That is how they're campaigning. They have nothing to tell you. They have nothing to tell the citizens. When they come to your homes, when they come to campaign, you're driving down Cuba, you're seeing PNM flag, but no PNM message because they have nothing to tell you. So when they come to campaign, ask them a simple question. 8 years later, what have you done? 8 years later, what can you show for it? As a matter of fact, we can show regression. We are seeing exam results at its lowest. We are seeing roads at its worst. We are seeing everything collapsing around us, and you still have the belly to come and say, vote for me. That is shamelessness. That is shamelessness for anybody to put on a red shirt and walk and come and knock on your door, ring your doorbell, stand up on your gate, by your gate and say, vote for me. Ladies and gentlemen, all politics is local. Local government election has a history of reduced voter turnouts. Everybody say, all right, you know, we don't have to bother, it's not the general election. But all politics is local. When you think about your drainage, your garbage collection, when you think about the difference you want to make in Trinidad and Tobago, think about local government. Think about your councillor. Now is not the time to get complacent. Now is not the time to get relaxed. Right now, the PNM feels that they are on an upswing. They are drinking their own juice. They are buying their own propaganda, a very dangerous thing. They believe that they are large and in charge, and they are showing off on us now. And so now, we as a people, those of us gathered here today, your family, your friends, everybody, it is now is the time to stand up for Trinidad and Tobago. Because if we do not stand now, I had somebody tell me recently that the PNM and the UNC is the same thing. Two sides of the same coin. Or you could believe that? Craziness. Because the people of the United National Congress, we believe in service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. When we say people-centered development, we are talking about ensuring that the resources of Trinidad and Tobago, and do not believe the mama guy of the empty treasury and we don't have this and we don't have that and tighten your belt. Because when they were telling us that they were building houses in Tobago, when they were telling us there's no money, they were buying paintings to hang up in Whitehall. When they were telling us there's no money, they buy about 5 or 6 different boats to go to Tobago. But they told us they had to cut the education sector. They told us that educating your children would not be a good enough spend of our money. So Trinidad and Tobago, those of you gathered here today, when we think about what we're doing, when you join our lovely candidates on the campaign trail, when you get up and you go outside, understand that you are standing for hope for Trinidad and Tobago. You are standing up for TNT. And I want to say to those students who are currently waiting their disbursements, who are waiting for their money so that they can check their examination results and register for their classes. And I want to say to all of the young people of Trinidad and Tobago, pay attention to the politics of your country. Pay attention to who has something to offer and who is giving you propaganda and mama guy. And pay attention to your elections, because that is what will change the lives of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So UNC family, UNC family, UNC family, we are in the middle of an election. I want to know that you are ready. All you have to look alive, man. Look vibrant. Look vibrant. A little bit again. We're supposed to all walk and come here because I want to see you all on the streets across Trinidad and Tobago and wear your yellow proudly. Do not make anybody make you feel ashamed of wearing your yellow proudly, because you are standing for what is right in Trinidad and Tobago, and I thank you very much.
It's time for win.
Ladies and gentlemen, I also have the distinct pleasure of introducing three of the most fabulous candidates the United National Congress has to offer. These councillors will serve in the Kuva, Tabakit, Talparo region, but they will serve in the constituency of Tabakit, and I introduce for Caratal, Tortuga, Ms. Sharon Badalahi. For Gasparillo, Bonaventure, Mr. Ravi Puran Maraj. And for Piparo, San Pedro, Tabakit, Mr. Henry Awa.
Once again, a round of applause for MP Anita Haynes. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Up next, we have a speaker that we had to rely on as far as giving us the information in the heights of the pandemic. We were told, first of all, that the chances of the pandemic reaching our shores was slim or none, because when people traveled through North America, it would be detected and it wouldn't reach here. We were told all types of things. We were told about non-disclosure agreements, but yet still none of that is transparent today. So we had to rely on our own UNC family to bring us the information. Please, UNC family, put your hands together and welcome Caroni East MP, Dr. Rishad Seecharan.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Good evening and welcome to my political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel. My colleagues at the head table, fellow members of Parliament and senators, members of the National Executive, the Cuba South Constituency Executive, and of course our host MP Indarsingh, activists, foot soldiers, and those viewing both home and abroad. I am pleased to be here with you and to see such a packed crowd. Tonight, my friends, we will be talking about our nation's public healthcare institutions. In 2020, the government of Trinidad and Tobago accessed funding in excess of $10 billion from several local and international sources. From the domestic capital market, $1 billion TT dollars. From the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, $900 million US dollars. From the World Bank, $20 million US dollars. From the Inter-American Development Bank, $130 million US dollars. From the Development Bank of Latin America, or the CAF Bank, $150 million US dollars. And from the external capital market, $150 million US dollars. So $10 billion, not million, was injected into our economy in 2020. But Trinidad and Tobago is ranked as having the 5th highest death rate per capita from COVID-19 in the Western Hemisphere. It is so bad, in fact, that we are ranked as the 23rd most deadly country due to COVID-19. 172 countries out of 195 countries in the world did a better job at protecting their citizens than us. The numbers don't lie. Rowley is a complete failure. My friends, on numerous occasions, I would have spoken to you about the Seemangal report, and we all know about Professor Seemangal's report. But tonight, I will discuss a new Auditor General special report that we now have access to. On the 5th of June, 2023, just 1 month ago, a special report of the Auditor General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago was laid in the House of Representatives, and it's named Contributing Towards a Strong and Resilient National Public Health System between the years 2016 and 2021. And it is based on our country's ability to detect, to reduce the risk of, and to manage a national or a global health risk. And this is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, Target 3D. And this special report was done under the authority of the World Health Organization, along with the Ministry of Planning and Development, as well as the Ministry of Health. And it makes for quite interesting reading, to put it mildly. And I will go through 6 of the main points here tonight, time permitting. The first point being inadequate human capital. This special report stated that currently in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a ratio of 1 doctor, nurse, and midwife per 1,000 persons in Trinidad and Tobago. The World Health Organization recommendation is 4 doctors, nurses, and midwives per 1,000 persons in the population. According to the WHO, we are significantly undermanned in our nation's hospitals and health centers, and thus we are unable to provide a high level of patient care compared to other countries around the world. Remember, according to COVID-19, we are number 172 out of 195 countries. The Auditor General's special report also went on to say that out of 17,682 healthcare positions in Trinidad and Tobago, 6,647 or 37% were vacant as of the end of 2021. Almost 40 positions vacant. Rowley building new hospital all over the place, but no jobs for young doctors and nurses in this country. Point number 2, lack of medical equipment. Remember during COVID-19 when hospitals did not have enough ventilators, you know the machine that used to help people breathe? Well, this special report said that it was concerned about our doctors' ability to diagnose patients presenting for care. They did a survey. 65% of doctors said that there was inadequate access to medical equipment to diagnose and treat patients. Is this why so many patients died during the pandemic? As you know, doctors are bound by their non-disclosure agreements, and this is the closest that we have come to official standing and confirmation of negligence by the regional health authorities. From the year 2016 to 2021, PNM years, $25.66 billion was budgeted to the Ministry of Health. Where has the money gone? And why are our hospitals lacking doctors, according to the World Health Organization? Point number 3, unintegrated and underutilized IT systems. The special report says that there is no integration of our IT systems. There is no interface with systems at the Ministry of Health. Basically, doctors and nurses operating with pen, pencil, paper, and file. When a doctor needs to see a scan or x-ray, somebody has to go to a room in the back of the hospital and look for it. And if they can't find it, the patient has to go and do over the scan. And this is the same for blood work and other tests. So all those fancy hospitals they're putting up, we lacking doctors, we lacking nurses, we lacking medical equipment, and now we lacking computers. Begs the question, where the money gone? $25.6 billion. And this is a report done by the WHO. Number 4, the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nurses Association was not consulted. The special report made mention of the disrespect meted out to the TTRNA. According to the report, the TTRNA was not included in any decisions concerning COVID-19, and this is contrary to many countries around the world, where the input of nurses was used to optimize equipment and resources at the height of the pandemic. Another slap in the face to our brave nurses. They have endured so much under the Indarsingh. Also mentioned in the report was the fact that the TTRNA was refused health insurance and hazard allowances during the pandemic, which is contrary to many WHO countries. Minister Indarsingh should hang his head in shame. Point number 5, physical and mental health from the report. The special report has said our doctors and nurses are burnt out. They have been forced to work extra hours and given up.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So let we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote.
Folks, please welcome our political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
And the home invasion of the people insecure.
To security and the UNC is the way to go. So on election day, what to do? Just vote for you. For your family security, vote for you. For your community security, vote for you. Just to save your economy.
Come on, make some noise. Make some noise. It's all about August 14th.
That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your
The next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Make some noise for the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure the anthem. Stand your ground and secure your family. Stand your ground and secure the community. Stand your ground and secure this country. Stand your ground now. Stand your ground now. August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, August 14th.
Wave those flags, wave those flags.
August 14th, August 14th, August 14th, vote for UNC.
The UNC means business.
August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Hey!
You see the crime and violence, we can't take it no more. And the home invasion of the people insecure.
To secure TNT, UNC is the way to go. So on election day, what to do? Just vote for you. For your family security, vote for you. For your community security, vote for you. Just to save your economy, vote for you. Vote to secure TNT. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. This is the time to secure TNT.
Once again, welcome the next Prime Minister.
This is the time to secure TNT. Stand your ground and secure your family. Stand your ground and secure the community. Stand your ground and secure
Our political leader,
Stand your ground now. Hey! UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, August 14, August 14, August 14, vote for UNC. 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 That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT. August 14, vote for UNC. 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 August 14, August 14, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT.
You see the crime and violence, we can't take it no more. And the home invasion of the people insecure.
To secure TNT, when sees the way to go. So on election day, what to do?
Just vote for you. For your family security. Vote for you. For your community security. Vote for you. Just to save your economy. Vote for you. Vote to secure TNT. August 14, vote for UNC.
And a special good night to our political leader and the next Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel. As I was saying, the Auditor General's report also indicated that our doctors and nurses are burnt out and forced to work extra hours and giving up their vacation leave. Also mentioned was unpaid overtime, job insecurity, poor meals, no childcare, and very poor working conditions. $25.6 billion, my friends. Where the money gone? President of the TTRNA, Edith Stewart, is also on record of saying that nurses are working on 2013 salaries, and many are left with no choice but to seek employment abroad. They are just fed up working in this country, fed up with Rowley, and fed up with the housing. And point number 6, long wait times and postponement of surgeries. The report also states that 64% of patients had longer waiting times than normal during the pandemic, and 63% said that there were frequent postponement of elective surgeries and medical appointments. This finally puts to rest that there was a parallel healthcare system. There was no parallel healthcare system. Doctors were simply transferred to a COVID-19 facility to the detriment of the hospital that they were from. Parallel healthcare was another PNM gimmick. In conclusion, my friends, my leader has built the Cuba Hospital, the San Fernando Teaching Hospital, the Academy of Nursing and Allied Health. I wish to remind you the quality of our lives was much better under Kamla Persad-Bissessar Senior Counsel. We owe it to our families, we owe it to our children, our grandchildren, to take a stand against Rowley. Congratulations to all prospective councillors. We are all very, very proud of you. Keep flying the flag of the United National Congress and rallying around our leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Long live this great party. I thank you.
It's time for we to build a better TNT.
My friends, I bring to you the people-centered representative for Caparo Mamoral, Mr. John Lizama. Next, we have the humble and hard-working representative for Las Lomas San Rafael, Ms. Balmati Gosai. And finally, we have the dynamic and energetic representative for Londonville Talparo, Mr. Ryan Rampasad. Thank you.
August 14th, vote for you.
Yes, folks, another round of applause for Caroni East MP, Dr. Rishad Seecharan. And a pleasant welcome to our political leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. A round of applause to all our NATEX members, our MPs and our senators, our PRO, everyone, please, a round of applause. Our next speaker reminds me of a friend I had back at St. Anthony's. They just wanted to hear fight. They didn't care how big the individual was, how many people, they just wanted time and place. This is a comrade that has been in the trenches for years, fighting for the struggles of the small man. And he's also a host for this evening. UNC family, please put your hands together and welcome the MP, Rudranath Indarsingh.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14th, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. On August 14th, vote for you. Vote for the UNC.
Political leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Dr. Gregory Bissessar, my colleagues of our great party, Kuva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, are you ready to stand your ground with Kamla Persad-Bissessar to re-secure Trinidad and Tobago and ensure that we, the United National Congress, are on the road to victory come the 14th of August 2023. Tonight, I want to deal with two issues. One, what has transpired at NICON, and the very fact that today, after 8 years of government of Dr. Rowley, 150,000 jobs and families have been destroyed. In addition to that, your economy offers no hope for job creation and employment for the young people of our country. Trinidad and Tobago has collapsed under Dr. Keith Rowley, and today workers are an endangered species in their workplaces. In fact, the workplaces of Trinidad and Tobago have been transformed into a killing field because occupational safety and health and the Occupational Safety and Health Agency has collapsed under Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. And that is why I want to ask tonight, on what basis did Dr. Rowley come to the conclusion that NICON is a private entity? All workplaces in this country are indeed governed under the Occupational Safety and Health Act. What legal authority did Dr. Keith Rowley act upon when he said in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago that the 2021 report will not be made public as it relates to the explosion at NICON? Rowley, who you're protecting in NICON, that is what we want to know. Are you protecting John Andrews? Are you protecting Alison Lewis? Are you protecting Ainsley Gill? Are you protecting Larry Felix? or are you protecting Nicholas Galt? That is the question. And I want to ask the Minister of Energy and Energy Affairs, where is the legal advice? How much did it cost the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago? This is shades of paria all over again in relation to what transpired into the death of Alan Lane Ramkisoon, my brothers and sisters. And that is why I am saying to the Minister of Labor and the Occupational Safety and Health Agency, if you cannot act on behalf of the people, Rowley, you swore to the Constitution to uphold the law and act on behalf of the ordinary people of this country. And what basis can you say to the families who are grieving in the context of Alan Lane Ramkisoon that NICON is a private entity? You are sending a message that indeed there will be a cover-up. And that is why we are saying in the United National Congress that we will continue to prosecute this issue until you make that report public. And then you have the audacity to tell the country that you are indeed concerned about the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to turn very quickly, with the time that is available to me, that you are parading up and down the country. You are telling the country that this election is about local government reform. I am telling you that is the biggest lie that is being perpetrated upon the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It is sheer propaganda. It is sheer propaganda of a desperate prime minister who has failed to grow the economy, cannot get the revenue streams into this country, and all they want to do is, if they get a mandate and a majority, to unleash the property tax and the inheritance tax upon you. They want to continue to pick your pockets. That is what they want to do. They have subjected you to 5 fuel increases, and that ain't enough for them in terms of their wanton waste and corruption and nepotism. Now they want you to pay property tax. They want you to pay an inheritance tax to further their corruption, their wanton wastage and nepotism in Trinidad and Tobago. Because what will happen after the 8th, after the 14th of August? Will your roads improve? Will your drainage improve? Will your pavilions improve? These are the fundamental questions. And tonight, I want to ask Rohan Sinanan, I want you to take a look, and I invite them to put on the screens the state of the roads at Camden and Bocaro and Savonetta, leading to the Phoenix Park Industrial Estate and the Point Lisa's Industrial Estate. The worst roads in Trinidad and Tobago, the mother of all potholes in this country, is located on the Camden Road. It is located on the Bocaro Road, and it is located on the UTT Road, my brothers and sisters. And I want to ask Rohan, the only honest Indian in politics, the only fella who have the formula to know how much $100 does fit in a carrot box. Have you instructed the Secondary Roads and Rehabilitation Improvement Company not to fix a damn road in central Trinidad because you know your quota's booked? You know your quota's booked come the 14th of August 2023, where the 15 candidates in the Cuba Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation will sweep the polls, my brothers and sisters. So Rohan and Faris, you could peddle what you want. The people of Central Trinidad want to know where the $400 million gone as it relates to the secondary roads improvement rehabilitation company, and whether the contractors that you are working with are funding Balize House, and that is why you cannot fix the roads in Central Trinidad and in the constituency of Cuba South, my brothers and sisters. So don't fall for no mama guy. Don't fall for no propaganda. This is not about local government reform. This is about a hungry prime minister, a desperate minister of finance who want to continue to put their hands on the revenue streams of this country, and they want to impoverish you further, the ordinary citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And the only thing you will face come Monday the 14th of August on the 15th, property tax and inheritance tax, my brothers and sisters. Don't allow Rowley, Imbert, Alrawi, any one of them to continue to lie to you, my brothers and sisters. This is about a party that is under the leadership of an individual who has had the track record of being the most progressive prime minister in Trinidad and Tobago. She understood what people-centered development was about. She understood the need to improve your quality of life and standard of living. That is why I tell you here tonight, your vote come Monday the 14th of August is about securing families, is about securing communities. They told you that since 8 years now, they're hiring 100 municipal police officers for the Cuba Tabaqui Regional Corporation. Ask Awang and his entire team. I think in 8 years, they only hire 22. That is the lie. That is the deceit. That is the propaganda of the People's National Movement. And that is why come the 14th of August, in every electoral district in the Cuba Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation, we will stand our ground. We will ensure that we secure our communities, and we will ensure that indeed we are on the road to progress under the leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the United National Congress. Long live our party, long live our leader, and long live you, the beautiful people of the UNC. I thank you. And tonight we continue on the road to victory with the 4 remaining councillors, the 4 remaining candidates, and I bring to you the winning candidate for Castle Esperanza, Gangaram Gopal. The next one who will ensure that the PNM is defeated overwhelmingly in the Cuba East Balmain seat, Arlene Solomon Ramesa. And if the EBC feel that they could cut boundaries to facilitate the PNM getting a toenail or a toehold in the Cuba Corporation, I want to tell them tonight that Vanessa Kusi will destroy whoever they put in Cuba West Roystonia. And last but not least, a former chairman of the Cuba Tabaqui Talparo Regional Corporation, I bring to you no other person than Ramchan Rajbal Maharaj, who will destroy the PNM in Saboneta, Point Lisa. I thank you.
Vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
Once again, please put your hands together for MP Rudranath Indarsingh and all the UNC agents of delivery and service, our candidates. Please give them a round of applause. You know, we are here gathered tonight. I think we understand that knowing what to do is not enough. We have to do what we know. Many people in this country know exactly the kind of injustice that is meted out to our citizens on a daily basis, but yet still they make excuses as to why things cannot change. We are not here to make excuses. We are here to be that change. I always inspire my children with the lion and the hunter. One day the lion was walking through the forest with his cub, and they decided to gather shade under the tree. And as they lay there, the cub began reading a book called The Lion and the Hunter. And as he read the book, it illustrated that the lion was walking through the forest one day when he was suddenly captured and slaughtered by the hunter. The cub looked at his father and he said, "Dad, why is it every time I read these books, the lion is the one that's captured and slaughtered?" Father looked at him and said, "It's going to be that way until the lion writes the book." On August 14th, we will write that book. Every page, every paragraph, and it will read, under Kamla Persad-Bissessar, we beat them, we beat them, we beat them. Now we turn to the beautiful voices of the Flaming Word Ministry. Please welcome them on stage.
One, two, 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
Testing 1.
Good evening, everyone. It is so good to be here. We all know that of the goodness of the Lord. We all know this song. God has been good to us. He really has been. And I'm sure that He has been good to you. So we want you to sing that song that God is a good God. Could we just replay the track, please?
UNC family, another round of applause for the Flaming Word Ministry. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. First female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Senior Counsel, MP, political leader, mother, friend. Please, UNC family, please stand at this time.
August
And welcome
14th
on
is election
stage
day.
the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Make some noise for the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
We have to stand together.
With 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot, it comes down to your voice, your vote.
Don't tote. Are you ready? UNC.
Cast your vote for the one and only United National Congress on the road to victory. 4 nations. First woman opposition leader. Welcome KPP Plus. Solid everywhere.
Thank
you very much. UNC family. Let me thank Mikey K. Take a bow, take a bow. Thank you so much for chairing our meeting this evening. Thanks to all those great speakers who came before me. Arnold Ram, Ravi Ratiram, Dr. Rishi, Anita Haynes, and yeah, but I'm not seeing him. Right, Rudranath Indarsingh. Give them a round of applause. Let me take one moment and ask you to join with me to congratulate all the SCA students who wrote their exams today. Let's give them a round of applause. And I will say, I pray and we pray that every one of you will be given a laptop when you start your secondary school. Congrats to you. Let me thank the Flaming Word Ministry. They never cease to amaze me with the tremendous voices uplifted because of the goodness of God. So again, if I could sing, I will join them. Can I give you a little story? First from my husband, Greg. He said, Kamla, if you ever have to sing, do not sing in a mic. Just stay home and sing in the shower and where no one can hear you, but great voices, thank you. So when I passed the then common entrance exam, I want to share a story with you of my hope to become a great choir singer. So I passed the common entrance, I went to Irie High School in Superior, and there was a tremendous choir in that school. And I begged to join the choir. Well, I didn't get through. But I'll tell you what, I did not give up. Every day, they had choir practice. I would go and sit down like a little pommy one and watch them every single day until they said, okay, Kamla, come, join the choir. I share that story because it was never, ever give up. Whatever obstacles in your way, never, ever, ever give up. Never, ever. Never give up. So let us also join in congratulating the United States of America. Tomorrow, 4th July, they will celebrate their 247th anniversary of independence. Let's give them congratulations. And to us right here in Trinidad and Tobago, as we host the CARICOM heads, we want to congratulate the CARICOM for 50 years, their 50th anniversary at this time. CARICOM was born right here in Trinidad and Tobago at Shagarama. So we are proud. We have worked with the CARICOM, and I want to make the commitment we will continue to work with CARICOM for the better of our country and of the region. So I'm very happy to join you here as we highlight these phenomenal candidates of the Kuva Tabakit Talparo Corporation. And guys and girls, your journey now starts. So you have a lot of work to do over the coming weeks. Go brave, because you are on the road to victory. Stand strong. Stand strong. You know, when you go there, I want you to remember, you and all the other candidates of UNC, you made a pledge. Do you remember that? You made a pledge to your constituents when we launched our campaign last Monday. Do you remember? And every time you meet them in this campaign and after, always remember that pledge you made to serve the people. Serve the people. Serve the people. This corporation covers one of the largest geographical areas. It is part of the beating heart of Trinidad and Tobago, our great nation. And I will ask you please to put on the map so we can see that pictorial map. If the team has it, please put it up. Can you see that? You'll see the whole of the country except for those little pieces here, yellow. After the 14th of August, more yellow, 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 yellow. I want to talk a little about our councillors in action and their service to you, your constituents and others in Trinidad and Tobago. So you've seen your UNC councillors in the rain. You have seen them in flood. You have seen them in lightning and thunder. You have seen them in rivers and drains. And I too was there with my boots on the ground in the floods. And that is how we will lead. We must follow and then lead. You have seen our councillors in with muddy hands and feet and clothing. You've seen them very sweaty, and if you look at the screens, you will see our councillors in action. You've seen them comforting grieving families. You've seen them when they're celebrating with you. They are real people. They're councillors in title, but family in spirit. And while we know money is crucial to get things done, even as the PNM has starved us for funds to clean your drains, dredge your rivers, fix your roads, we know money does not make a councillor. Service and love is what makes us councillor. Our UNC councillors defied the greedy and prejudiced PNM. They worked for you even without PNM funding. They did that, and you know that, and you admire them. Those are the qualities you will want in your councillors. Have you asked yourself how they were able to do so much with so little? And I can tell you why. Because in the UNC, councillor is spelled S-E-R-V-I-C-E, service. That is what it means, service. And when we win, you will see more of them. As I said, they've already made this pledge to serve you. And as their leader, and as their leader and our leader, of course, all of you are leaders, when our councillors come calling, I remind you to remind them of the pledge they made to serve you when they come to you to ask for your vote. Today I want to speak about something. When I got up yesterday, I saw the most shocking, chilling experience. Reading a blazing front page headline of the Express newspaper with scream, $0.5 million for UNC defector. $0.5 million for a UNC defector. Now let's look at that. Let's talk about it. Put up the slide. So that's the front page of yesterday's Express. This is where the PNM has taken our politics. They have taken politics from policy to bribery. That is where the PNM is taking our country. The full page story on page 3 of the paper, which is the next page. You can put it up, the next page, page 3 of the Express yesterday. You see some very smiling, happy people on that page. You see them up on top there? You see them? Okay. You wait. They could run, but they cannot hide. They can run, but they cannot hide. So, this is where they've gone, as I say, from policy to bribery. Because they have no policies, they have no program, they have nothing they can come to offer you except to try to bribe some Judases. That's all they can come and do, try to bribe Judases. But once a Judas, always a Judas. I reminded you, a man with that name from 2,000 years ago, the whole world knows the name Judas. And he did not end well. Anita reminded me, I think it was you, And Marsha, how did he end? Okay. Didn't end well at all. And 2,000 years later, have you ever heard anybody naming their child with that name? Even though everybody know the word, Judas. Nobody going to name their child. You name your child Chris or Christian, all the words Jesus says to you. Yes, but nobody naming anybody after Judas. So Judas Gehari, I hope you remember that. Judas Kavish, I hope you remember that. Because we will never, ever let you forget. Never. So let's just look at the skinning, grinning people in that picture for a moment. That story is also accompanied by a picture of the check. Can you see it? It's small up on the side there, but that's the check. It's over $500,000. $550,000. Yes? And in that picture, we see the defector somewhere there, grinning. We see Minister Kazim Hussain having a private meeting in another slide with the same fella, the defector, in what looks like the man's office. I'll put it up for you in a moment. Private meeting. I don't know what that's about. Mr. Kazim, break your silence and tell us what that meeting was about when you met him privately. That lead picture with the three of them, of Keith Rowley beaming, being totally outsmarted. I said they dupe you. Totally outsmarted, shaking hands and hugging up. And the spade defector cheering on Hussain and Steoty, gaping and laughing at this. I think Steoty must be crying inside and saying in his mind that he wishes Rowley would hug him up for free. And I think, remember Rowley's the man who got outsmarted and came back from a CARICOM meeting and told the whole world that a fellow named Bill Gates, remember? Outsmarted him, he outsmarted himself. He told us that Bill Gates was giving him big, big money. Remember, this fellow not too smart, not smart at all. And this must send a chill up your spine, all of us in this country, when the party which boasts of being the oldest political party in Tenty, they have collapsed into paying bribes to get support. That's what they've gone, to pay bribes to get support. No. Still can't help him, you're right. Not going to help him. So what was Rowley thinking to pay over $500,000 to a defector? Why are they humiliating their own PNM supporters with this type of behavior? Remember, they respect their loyal PNM supporters. What do they give them? 10 days. They give them a little 10 days. But they took away their children's laptops. They cut the gate. They did all these things to their own supporters. But they get over $500,000 to pay a bribe to a Judas. How much you feel? How much you feel? The PNM has humiliated their loyal supporters. The PNM hierarchy is in total chaos. The loyal PNM supporters are enraged by this act of paying this low-level functionary, Judas, almost over $500,000. When there's small requests of your own supporters, you turn a blind eye. You're hugging up a Judas and your loyal supporters. Or when last you hug up any of those people? That fellow is not about hugging. He's only about hate. How pathetic and embarrassing has Rowley sunk the PNM? The Rowley PNM is now a big joke, a laughing stock of this population. How much more insulting can the PNM be to the intelligence of their own supporters? A PNM MP called me today and told me that that person, I will name he or she, that person told me, PNM MP, and told me that himself, herself, and other MPs were ashamed of this bribery scandal. Ashamed. They were even more ashamed of the pathetic nature of the PNM's response to the scandal. That MP asked me jokingly if one of the fake checks at PNM is out circulated. There's something up on this as fake check with my name on it, I think. But let me tell you what that is about. Of course, I got no such check. Forget that part. It's fake. But somebody said that is the PNM trying to send a check for me to pay me to take back Judas coverage in the UNC. But they can't buy me. I don't want a check from anybody. So that MP was laughing. He was dying with laughter. You could hear the pain and shame in his voice as to how humiliated they feel with what Rowley and his gang are doing in the PNM. The PNMP said they are being ridiculed, they're being laughed at, and they're fed up. He asked how intellectually bankrupt and embarrassing Rowley's advisors must be to come up with such a worthless rebuttal to the bribery scandal. So PNM felt comfortable to pay bribes. For the past month, in the lead up to the nomination day, we have been criticized because there were a few Judases amongst us who left the UNC to go PNM. As we said, Rowley gleefully embraced these people and boasted that they had left the UNC to join the PNM. I knew all along of the payments that were being made. The PNM felt comfortable to pay bribes. As I said before, they can't control anybody now. Certainly not the TTPS. Every PNM UNC supporter should read this article to show the depths the Rowley government has sunk. Can I tell you something? This thing is better than any Netflix drama. And it comes complete. It comes complete with a bullet in a mailbox. The defector is saying he got a bullet. Look, stop watching Netflix and start to watch the antics of some of these people in Trinidad and Tobago. You could come, you could make your own movie right here in Trinidad and Tobago. And money for bribes are also being facilitated through contractors working on government projects. And some of those contractors are fed up of the extortion by the PNM to get money. And they are desperate because they want to get paid. They have been coming to us asking us to expose what the PNM is doing by shaking down contractors to get money to fight elections. And we will expose you. None, as I say, not one shall escape. Why are companies not being paid the money owed to them for work done? Is it that you have to pay a bribe to get what you are owed under this government? What promises and positions did the PNM make to Kavish Sudal when they gave him the bribe check? What promises did PNM make to other defectors when they also collected bribes? What did you promise them? Again, ask Kazim Hussain, Minister, speak up loudly on this matter. What is your role in this matter? What is Foster's role in this matter? Judases, they bring news, they also carry news, you know. So some of them same Judas coming back. Everything comes around. What goes around? Comes around, man. So, yes. So the effector says, no, I want to remind Foster and Kazim about that. Everything you're doing, I say, run, cannot hide. The truth will always rise. And here's what this Judas says. He didn't know how the bribe check made out for 5.55 million ended up in his name. He didn't know. But Mr. Leonard says he gave the Judas the bribe check by hand. He gave him in his hand. But this fella says he don't know how he get it. He never get it. This defector says he never saw the check. And then in the next breath, in that same story in the Express, and thanks to journalist Anna Ramdas for investigating and exposing that story. Defector says in that same article, he never got the check, the bribe check. And then he admits he got the bribe check. So which one is real? Which one is true? And then Mr. Leonard says, I'm trying to get back the check. You better investigate who really put that bullet in the mailbox, you know. Maybe somebody want to get back the check. I'm not saying it's him, but this fella, in the article, Mr. Leonard said he's a shady character. And that's why he wanted to pull back the check. See? All comes to the light. I am sure you're wondering how much the other defectors collected. Are you? I'm sure you're asking what was offered to the other Judases. I will tell you another night. Not tonight. We will come again. We will share it with you. We will share it with you. And you would think that the TTPS, they were so quick to investigate some audio tape from Tobago. Quick, quick, quick. And up to now, how many weeks later, they cannot investigate and report about Brent Thomas, abducted in Barbados, put on a plane, a CARICOM plane, shame! Illegally brought back to Trinidad. They can't get investigation into that yet. Yes? You really don't want me to go there. We just congratulated CARICOM. And they're all great people. We know that, don't we? Yeah, but there's some characters. There are always characters under the radar, under the weather. So this TTPS run to investigate audio tape cannot up to now tell us nothing about Brent Thomas. And let us see if they will go into this. I'm calling that the TTPS should investigate all these bribery allegations. Come out and do a job. Do something. The fish is rotting from the head, and tonight I call upon the police, I call upon the DPP to launch an immediate investigation into what appears to be a criminal conspiracy, bribery and corruption scandal. We must connect the dots and let the picture of the PNM puppet masters who are behind this grand political scheme to buy Judases, to use them as their bagman, reveal itself. It is clear that the Judases and lefters did not simply leave on their own. I can tell you one thing tonight. They are not shaking their bag of silver in celebration and merriment. The clinking song you're hearing of the 550,000 pieces of silver in the bag is because there are hands that are trembling with fear, because they will be exposed. The PNM has done us a favor by bribing and exposing, bracing these Judases. One by one, they stepped out of their political shadows, and our party has purged itself of their disloyalty. Out of evil always cometh good, and the good will always prevail. Tonight, I want to show you something good and share with you something so good. While we are cleaning up our stables and the Judases are running away, we saw the PNM oppression in all its malice this week as they tried to pressure one of our candidates, Lyndon de Gans. Mr. Lyndon is here, and I'll call him up in a minute. I want you to see him. As soon as Mr. Lyndon was nominated, Monday nomination day, the central bank sent him a letter saying, it is the bank's policy that employees cannot run for political office because the bank is independent. Well, who are you really fooling? The governor of the central bank is appointed by whom? He's a government appointee. The deputy governor is a government appointee, and you want to talk about no government? Nothing in politics? What a shame where we've reached. The central bank code of conduct, they say, does not prohibit employees from engaging in political campaigning activities. It does not. So why you want to discriminate against a man who has worked 29 to 30 years? He works as a chauffeur. He has no access to anything you want to hide up there in your towers. He has nothing of that. He's a hard-working man, has a family to take care. And here's what they told him. They told him, withdraw or we will fire you. Withdraw your nomination. And if you don't, we give you until the 30th, which was when, on Friday. Friday. Monday they write him. Friday, give you on. When he said, give me, sorry, the 30th was? They wrote you on Wednesday and gave him until the 30th. Resign or withdraw. One of the two. You can't have both. And when he said, give me a little time to seek legal advice, they refused. They refused. They refused. Pressure on the poor man. He spoke with me. I said, listen, you have your family to take care of. You've worked for so long, you will lose your benefits if they want to enforce it. You make the decision. I spoke with that great lawyer, Arnold Ram. And the rest is history, as they say. Stand your ground. Lyndon did stand his ground. And you know, it is no secret there are numerous PNM activists and supporters. They all work in the central bank. But no. Mr. Lyndon DeGan stood his ground, you're right. There will be pressure in Lyndon. It's either he would serve his party in the country or lose his job. Stand your ground, Lyndon. He did. They wanted him to withdraw. And so through lawyer Arnold Ram and his team, an application was made on behalf of Lyndon. Lyndon, come a moment here, please, so they can see.
Good evening, I will almost say Central Bank family. They are my family here. But good evening to the UNC family. It's an honor. It's an honor and privilege to stand beside the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. You know, my daughter and my son, they often said to me, Daddy, everywhere we go, somebody knows you. You are too popular. But within the last 3 days, my employer made me one of the most popular persons in Trinidad and Tobago. And I was wondering where I getting money for free advertisement. I got free advertisement, free campaigning, and people calling me from all over the world. Just this morning I spoke to a former central banker from New Jersey. He said, Lyndon, do not give up. Take them for the fight. Take them for the fight. Before I go, I want to give you all a story. I am a man who believes in the God of creation. And in the Bible, you'll read about a man called David. All you know David? David was small like me. And when the prophet came towards Jesse and said, I come to anoint one of your sons as king. Jesse went for all his big, strong-looking sons like Mikey K and them. And after assessing and looking at all his sons, he said, no, there have to be one more. He said, yeah, there is one. But he's in the backside of the desert tending to sheep. He was doing service to sheep. Sheep. Proper English when you're on the mic, sheep. And today, I say to you, that young man called David, who was small like me, he slayed a lion. He slayed a bear. He slayed Goliath. And today I say to you, I see all my Burgesses as sheep. I see all of Trinidad and Tobago as sheep.
and I stand in defense against the Goliaths who is trying to take your joy, take your family future, take your children's future, take your education, take your livelihood. And I am prepared to slay all Goliaths that come against me to deny me of my rights to serve my purposes. The time has come. The time has come, and it is now. Leading up to the 2010 election, I had my voice was all over the airways, and even up to today, I will call in and speak, advocate on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, known as Mr. Malabar, Mikey K and them knows. But time has come for me to put myself in service in the council, in the borough of Arima, to take back Arima from the thieving, taxing, lying hands of the People's National Movement. Talk is cheap. No more rum shop talk. No more barber shop talk. No more talking on the roadside. I will convert that talk now to real action to ensure that my people get the representation that they deserve. Malabar North, Malabar South, Arima Central, Tumpuna, Tagarigua, all over, Caraco, in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west. We will beat them, we will beat them, and we will beat them. And I will close by saying this. I will close by saying this. Just to borrow a line from one of the people in politics that I admire, Bastio Pandey. When you see me and a lion fighting, feel sorry for the lion.
Wow. Well, you see the quality of candidates that we have. Just one of them tonight. Give it up for Lyndon. Lyndon, as you said, he stood his ground. He's on the road to victory, and we will be there. Are you ready to slay Goliath? Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. You know, sometimes I come to these meetings and when I see you all, I see your faces, I see your energy, I see your passion. Sometimes brings tears to my eyes. But in a good way, in a good way, in a very good way. Because of you, our party has grown so strong. Because of all of you. Your love and your support has taken us over the hard times. And now when we go into the good times, we shall all march together. When the saints go marching in. When the saints go marching in. On the night of August 14, we shall all be together. So as I come down to the close of my remarks, just a few more things I must impress on you. Because I saw both Rowley and Imbird on their platform, if you could call that wake-up platform, when they were talking last Thursday or something. For their campaign. And they say, Imbird come and talking about Kamla and that lady and inheritance tax. Imbird, I didn't lie. It's you and Rowley lying about the inheritance tax. The whole country knows you have lied before. Rowley told us he's not closing down Petrotrin. It exactly happened. So many times he said things. Property tax, he said, no, PNM not doing that. Today he's begging on every platform. Every time he speaks, he's begging for property tax. So don't believe a word they say, inheritance tax, property tax. We do not believe you. And then Rowley comes to play the race card again. I warned you about the P&M playbook. If we have it, can you put it up on that screen now, please? The Rowley misinformation playbook is happening over and over and over. And who you think you're fooling? Nobody. Where's that playbook? Put it up, please. Disinformation handbook.
At the end of the day, I'm
While
saying
people
here
are
tonight
paying
in
living
St. James,
paycheck
all don't
to
believe me,
paycheck.
don't doubt me. That is a policy that
No
is simply
medicine.
saying a dog whistle.
Rowley and his
that they're
government
going to
partners
get
are
people
raking in millions
of a certain
and
race
living a very high
comes
life. Look
to
at
shoot people. They are saying at the end of the day, I'm saying it here tonight in St. James. If you all don't believe me, don't doubt me. That is a policy that is simply saying a dog whistle that they're going to get.
He has no plan for you. He has no policy. He has no achievement to tell you he has done. So what does he do? Back to the playbook of the PNM. Back to race. We don't get fooled and chained up, you know. And if there are those of you who want to get chained and fooled with this racist talk, we don't want you. I don't want no racists in the UNC. None. So, what are these people thinking they were already talking about how you look? Crime is hitting everybody in the country. There's no stop to see if you're red, you're white, you're blue, you're green, you're brown. Nobody asking about that. This crime is out of control, Rowley. Where are you living? Because all of you and your ministers, you have legal guns, yes? You have armed security. What about the rest of the people here? Look, your ministers and you choose to keep that incompetent sleeping on himself, Haynes, as your Minister of National Security. You chose him above the safety and security of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. What kind of Prime Minister are you? And then come into dog whistle. You say about dog whistle, but the only person dog whistling race in this country is Rowley. Only person. So don't come with that again. Nobody going to take that back from you. Not this time. You've done it over and over. No, people in this country very smart now. Eh? You know why? When I had the chance, together with my colleagues, to give every child a place in a secondary school. Every year 10,000 children falling off the system, not getting a place in a school. I had that privilege and honor with my colleagues that we gave every child a place in a secondary school. And then we gave them the laptops. But you take away that too because you find they was getting too smart. I give you this commitment today, Trinidad and Tobago, when we form the next government, every child, everyone will get a laptop. Everyone. So, Stand your ground. One soldier there, Lyndon, standing his ground. You all will stand your ground. Rowley said that the stand your ground law was a code for giving certain type of people guns so they could shoot another type of person. I just explained to you. Poor Annie will be so conflicted. He might end up with a mental breakdown and have to go to St. Anne to decide which half of him will shoot and which half of him will be shot. Nonsense and foolishness. So take law. I want you to have another clip here, but I think most of us have heard him with his racist whatever. You have the clips from Foster and Gadsby. Will not use them tonight, but they will say, hey, we support Hines. Keep Hines. Will they keep him? Let's see how much longer they will keep him for, because people are being murdered. Murdered in this country, home invasions, and all that is happening. Let me tell you what we will offer you. I could tell you of our achievements. Others have spoken, Mikey and others have achievements all the years we were there. So we rest on that, but we'll tell you there's more we can give you. In this local government, I'm saying we are telling you we will work towards securing communities. Everybody supports community comfort patrols in your communities and surrounding areas. We will make that happen. We talk about securing families. Everybody supports our proposal except Rowley and his ministers who have gone on police and security. Everybody supports our proposal to increase legal gun ownership for you law-abiding citizens. We offer you secure streets. We support a nationwide plan to restore and improve street lighting in our communities. We must take back control of our streets. Secure schools and our children. We will use the municipal police to help us in the troubled schools in each regional corporation. And those numbers will create jobs by hiring more municipal police. You promised it, but you never did it. We will secure jobs. Expand, as I said, municipal police and others. Secure homes. You must be able to defend your family as a human right. And that is where we support the stand your ground laws we spoke about. Secure neighborhoods. UNC councillors will support your request to secure communities, to have a gated community. Right now, that's only happening up in the West. But every regional corporation has the power where the residents apply to grant that you can have a gated community. So only the people who live there will be able to enter any time of day or night. Some of you may have seen this operating elsewhere where you stop at the gate and you have to say who you're going to see, why, what, they call up that person, and you will say, no, I don't know him, don't let him in. Lock the gate. We can help you with that security in your communities. And don't think your community is too poor to have that. Every community deserves to have a safe and secure community. We will scrap the property tax. And we'll also scrap any proposal for inheritance tax. You should not have to pay more taxes. Should not have to pay more taxes. So my friends, UNC family all, thank you very much for staying with us. We stand together as a powerful force, united by our love for our country and united by our desire to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. I urge you, the time has come to stop complaining and let your voices be heard. It's time to take a stand and let Rowley know that he has failed you, that he has failed your community, that he has failed the whole country. We must let them know. I do sense your frustration. I know your pain. But tonight I say to you, the only way you can end that pain and sorrow is to do what? Don't vote, vote. Don't vote, just vote. Vote UNC. Vote for a brighter future for your children. Vote to keep your homes safe. Vote so that you can stand your ground if there's an intruder invading your home. Vote for responsible, easier issuance of gun license. And then you can defend yourself and your family. Vote against inheritance tax. Vote against property tax. And above all, I say to you as I close, vote for you. Vote for the UNC and you will vote for you and your families. That is where we stand. So look, time to stop complaining. Who gets seat, who didn't get seat, who did what we must come now together and unite as one powerful force to remove this wicked, incompetent government once and for all. This is about one step away, first step towards taking victory and governance of our land. This is step one. And when we are done, we are on the road to victory for general elections, step two. Bless you all. May God bless each and every one of you. May God bless Trinidad and Tobago. And as I say to you, you tell your families on August 14th as I close. All right, Melville, God bless you too, Melville, thank you. On August 14th, as I say, put your X next to the rising sun. And what will we do on the 14th? Don't vote, just vote. UNCN proud. Stand with me. UNCN proud. UNCN proud. UNCN proud. Can I invite?
August 14th is Election Day in Trinidad.
We have to stand united. We have to stand together.
It's 14 corporations and key electoral districts on the ballot. It comes down to your voice, your vote.
Don't vote. Are you ready? UNC.
Cast your vote for the one and only United National Congress. Stand your ground to victory. To victory.
So who feel the black?